Hey! Wow, I pulled a close one here. Apparently my graphics card changed it up and it messed with my recording settings and I had to reconfigure it to run on the smaller chip. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I have to update my drivers or something. Oh, just OBS being a POS. If you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. I mean, you know what I'm saying. So anyways, let me get all this stuff set up. Videos. Are we up live? Yeah, we're live. Let me shut up. You cannot hear me. Video. Yeah, I can hear me. Woohoo. On board. YouTube skullduggery. No, it's not the YouTube's fault. It's my computer's fault. Like it was literally the OBS thing. I was previewing the thing and it wasn't working. And I'm glad I spent like 5 minutes before the thing started making sure that it would actually run on the preview. Otherwise, I would have been SOL. Anyways, so how's it going tonight? I'm gonna post the thing on the tweeters. Dead silence is not good. You gotta talk, dude. You gotta keep talking. You gotta keep talking. Alright, so that's up. That's up. And so it is now 8:30. So that means it's time to begin. So where were we last time? Well, we had a like little press conference or meeting or whatever, and whatever his dragon dude with the lab coat was like, yeah, we're still gonna have a plate thing, dude. So we're still gonna have a shindig, even though Clace died. So everyone's like, okay, I guess that's fine. But then he told everybody that, oh, well, I hired extra security. And that extra security was some lady called Maxine, who apparently likes technological weapons. And we actually learned that that lady also is a quote-unquote chosen one, or chosen two, as it were, because apparently my protagonist character isn't the only chosen one. He's one of the other lucky two, as it were. It's weird, but anyways, I found some weird blinky box, and that's where we kind of left off. Is that I found this very suspicious looking package near the conference room, and it's not good. So we're gonna find out what that was all about. So let's get going. Tweet, tweet, bird, go away. Tweet, tweet, bird, go away. So I noticed something here. I've gone 6 episodes deep, and so my episodes are usually an hour 30 apiece. We've had, and I've only saved a new file every time we've had like any decision that I thought could impact things, or even any really decision at all. And so look, if you look at this, we've had like only 9 save files. Just something to note. I have two true ending flags, you know, marked though, which is good, I guess. I have no idea. Oh, yeah, that's right. I gotta use the keyboard. Load, yes. I'm trying to use the mouse to click on things. It's like, it's not working! It's RPG Maker, dummy. As I step out, I see the same room as before. Yet this time, it feels different. Because there's loud music that I have to turn down. When I was here before, I sensed grief and apprehension. But now I sensed fright and anxiety. It's palpable. I'm sure that after the conference the press left. Why would they stay behind in a weaponized building? For now, I was certain that it was just us here. By us, I mean those associated with the tour. I doubt I would run into any strangers for now. Knowing now, it felt easier to calm down, despite it being extremely tense. It was welcome in the face of what I had felt before. I quickly scanned the room to see who I could find. The room is practically empty. I just see Archeron. He seems to be guarding the entrance to Singe's office. Almost instantly, he makes eye contact with me. Hey there. Just who I was looking to see. Gotta meet with the man himself, huh? Would you be able to chat with me first? Oh, I don't get a choice in that matter? Something has been on my mind for a while. I mean, about the press conference. I'm sure you know what I mean. A while. But it just happened, didn't it? Like a week ago? I know we talked before, so I trust you. You seem like a nice enough person. And I know we already share the same views. So, that one, So this is obviously, if I had told him that I trust technology more than people earlier, this part would be a little different, I guess. About weapons and protection, I mean. So I feel like you'll have my back again. I guess that means I'm a little biased. I must just be seeking validation. That's why I waited for you anyway. I just need to know. Did my outburst go too far? I feel like Singe belittled me on stage. His certainty shouldn't overrun my worry. I feel like I had valid concerns, Tantroo. He chastised me for doing what I'm paid for. I only acted out of interest to protect. He protect, but also he attack. I was able to squeeze the meme in there. I feel like the others would have done it too, especially after learning about the weapons. My past with Armstrong is not related. I think it was rude of him to imply that, especially in front of the press. I have a reputation to uphold. A guard can't be emotional like that. There must be no conflict of interest. My agency does not approve of that. The one I work for, I mean. So that's what I'm wondering. Did I do something wrong on stage? Or was I acting as I should have? Maybe Singe was out of line. That was actually a pretty good question. I don't think there's really a right or wrong answer. It's just one of those multifaceted situations. You can't dumb those down to an answer like that. But he stared at me intently, expecting me to speak. And far be it for me to leave him hanging. I guess I should just think it over before I answer. So, the one person here. Were we out of line? Was he out of line? Or did he not do anything wrong? I mean, come on, he's doubling up on security now. It'd be sort of like putting the Army and Black Arms in the same frickin' room. I guess that's kind of awkward, to say the least. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna hire mercenaries to do your job for you, and I'm also gonna use... I don't need you here. Why would I need you here? But anyway, you gonna tell me how you feel about the situation, or I'm gonna have to pin you against the wall too? Yeah, okay, so you get 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're not in the wrong. I don't think Archeron is in the wrong here. You never really have to face a conflict. You never really be wrong in a conflict of interest. Now, what's interesting here is like I'm like playing a politician, right? It's like, oh yeah, I want this guy to like me, so of course in the privacy of our chit-chat. It's like, yeah, in the privacy of our little chit-chat, I'm gonna make you like me. You can never be wrong in the conflict of interest. Two sides clashing with opposing yet moral positions. Or was Singe being moral here, holding us in this building full of weaponry? Archeron was speaking out against that. No, Archeron speaking out against that was totally rational, and I can read rationally. In fact, he may be the only one brave enough. The rest of us took the nude in stride. Why should he get in any heat for defending us? This is the viewpoint that I explained to him promptly. Thank you. I feel much better after hearing that. I was worried I'd be alone in my sentiment. Self-doubt is never easy to endure. It eats at you, tears away from the inside. Not even all that time in the world can help. Dude. Well, I guess I should move on. It does not affect my mission parameters. I need to protect everyone here. Everybody? That's not what he said before. Perhaps Singe gave him more duties. Well, he'll be safe in his office. While you're there, I'm meeting with Daz. She's been acting a little odd lately. I don't know her very well, of course. But I can sense that something's off. Funny you should say that. I guess he can't pick up on what I'm feeling. Especially with the text I just received. I thought it would be blatantly obvious for him. Maybe his mind is occupied with something else. Or perhaps someone else. Thank you for the little Tantroo. And thanks for always having my back. You've been on my side twice now. I can't thank you enough. I usually just watch and protect. I'm not used to this bonding stuff. I usually just stick in the background. But it's different here. I feel like I'm part of a family. I haven't felt that in a long time. So for that, I am grateful. Apparently a dysfunctional one at that. The guy stabbed me in the back! If you'll excuse me, I'll have to go. I'll see you after I speak with Daz. He walks away without saying another word. Without even waiting for me to respond to what he's said. I'm left in front of Singe's office with my thoughts. Thoughts that someone out there wants to kill. Thoughts that someone out there has the powers of... else has powers from the Ark. Thoughts that we are surrounded by deadly weapons. Wait, do I know that? That was what she said in the text, right? Okay, I might have to go back and watch that. Because I know we watched the scene where she was talking with the dude, but I didn't remember if it was something that my character knows. About to meet with the man who holds it all together. Singe, the manager of the World Tour. The one in charge of everything. Why does this fill me with such unease? Now that Archon is gone, I can hear voices. Uh-oh. I'm going schizophrenic here. Is that what it's called? Without a doubt, they belong to Keela and Singe. The office is lit up with their conversation. I hope they didn't start without me. I'm not late. I can hear voices as clear as day, save for a few muffled words at least. In fact, now I'm curious as to what they're saying. What could be so important that they can't wait? So are we going to listen for a few moments, or are we going to walk into the meeting? Should we stay, or should we go? We're going to eavesdrop? Or are we going to meeting hop? And if you want to make decisions, you should be here at 8:30, but not next week, because next week we're not playing this. I'm spoiling that for you. Next week we're not playing this game. We're going to take a little break from it. It's pretty. We're going to hop into the meeting. Hop, hop. Alright, let's hop, hop. I was tempted to listen in, but I'll admit, it was not in my nature. I trusted them enough not to hide anything from me. At least, they haven't deceived me thus far. And I've only known them for a few days, man. They were probably just making idle conversation. It's not like they'd sit there in silence without me. So without a pause, I open the door. It opens with relative ease and I slowly go inside. Hopefully to gain answers from the man himself. Would you like to save your game? Yeah. So this one had a few choices on it. Convention Center. Of course, it's a furry game. Of course it takes place in a convention center. Where else would it take place? Meanwhile... Guess I better make myself comfortable. Might be living here for a while. I should probably go meet with Daz. Her schedule will need adjusting. Shock and Rocker too, for that matter. But I hate their constant fighting. Worse than an old married couple. Daz will have to ease her into her new role. It's going to be a bit overwhelming for her. Am I talking to myself or am I talking to the tablet? Hopefully I can make it easier. I don't want to make her uncomfortable. I should probably... Oh hey, didn't see you there. Almost ran right into you. Watch where you're going, alright? Oh, trust me, I was. And you're just the man I was looking for. Wait, you were looking for me? Think you have me confused, lady. You know, with someone important. Now, don't leave me waiting, Rook. I've been looking everywhere for you. There's no need to be rude about this. I have prior engagements. However, would you like an appointment? I'm open to rescheduling this. Just let me know what time you're free. An appointment, I can work with that. You know the press conference room? Yeah, that's like my second home. Sin sure has a flair for the dramatic. Holds a conference for almost everything. Would you be able to meet me there later? I'm asking you to come alone, of course. What is the nature of this appointment? Business, of course. You're Sinja's assistant, right? He's hard to reach, so I'll take you. You'll have to be a little less vague. Do you really not know who I am? I'm not big on the tabloids, sorry. I'll have to take that as a compliment. Either way, call me Maxine Armstrong. I'm CEO of Armstrong Incorporated. Oh, so that's who you are. He kept all your dealings private. That's one thing I hate most, hiding. So they don't know I'm there. No, well, no. This is like one of those... this is one of those things I'm a little critical of this game is... this is a conversation that's happening that's not in my presence, but somehow I know about the conversation happening. I don't know. Like, I'm in Sinja's office right now. Rook and her are alone. So I'm not hearing this, but I'm hearing this because it's narration. It's exposition. I always go for transparency. Withholding information is horrible. You'll have to excuse my lack of joy. Can't expect everyone to bow before you. I'm not exactly a fan of your work, Max. Wow, you're just as cocky as she said. Snuck in Foxy. She. Oops, I've said too much. The rest can wait for our appointment. How does 7 o'clock sound to you, Rook? I'm free. And the press room is good? As good as any other, I suppose. Great. I'll see you then. And remember, come alone, Rook. Yeah, whatever. I have stuff to do. Yes, of course you do. Always a busy man. By all means, enjoy what time you have left. She's going to kill him. Hey there. Hope I'm not interrupting. Oh, this is him and Daz. No, not at all. I was just thinking. Aren't we all lately? There's so much going on here. I may be new here, but I'm not unaffected. You seem to be going through a lot too. Yeah, and without any say.
I mean, I'm happy I got promoted, but they should have asked me first.
To rook your nook. That's a weird phrase. I wouldn't downplay your ability, Daz. You were chosen because of your skill, a national progression of your talent.
I guess I could say the same for you. I don't believe we formally met yet, but I know a lot about you, Archeron.
Well, that definitely makes me glad. I'm afraid I gave off a bad impression. You know, back at the press conference.
Don't worry, Archeron, it's all good. I've come across you in the past, actually. You protected some idle friends of mine. You know, they were lagging on the servers and they wouldn't log off and they were idling. But anyways, actually it goes deeper than that. I recognized your name at that point. Some sort of operation in Africa.
Oh, Africa was a disaster. I'm sorry that was your first impression. I've done much better work since then.
Yes, but it's our scars that define us.
Oh, don't go into any. I get stuck between accents sometimes.
There can't be any highs without the lows. I mean, what else would you tell?
That's a nice piece of wisdom, Daz. Can't appreciate the good without the bad. I've come a long way since then, too. Forgive me, but I don't know much about you. It's odd since you know a lot about me. Do you think you could change that, Daz?
Sure. What would you like to know?
Anything that you might find relevant?
Well, I guess I'm headlining a world tour. It was sudden, but I can't really say no. Obviously, I love to sing and dance. Originally, I didn't, though. My parents forced me into ballet early on. When I grew up, I found it too slow for me. I started to do jazz and hip-hop dancing. Won a few contests for my solo routines. Eventually, I was approached by Singe. Or at least his agency. They flew me out to meet him. Said he needed some backup talent. I accepted almost instantly. I love to support things that are different.
Big moves. Yeah, she's got assets. Yes. Like I think that that is another thing too. Like there are no, and I guess this is just like social SJW crap coming out, but it's like I guess both the male and the female characters have both been all physically good looking. So I guess it's not just the ladies, it's the dudes too. All of them are sort of eye candy. But I guess that's the problem with furry artwork in general, isn't it? It's an interesting thought that, you know, your comment just made me think there. Except almost instantly. I love to support things that are different. A male pop idol isn't too common, you know. Wait, a male pop idol? I must have missed something there. Was he talking about Clace, or was he talking about themselves? Because I think she's a she. I'm pretty sure she's a she. Or maybe there was a typo in the pronoun. Anyway.
This was a few years back. Clace was just starting out. We went on a couple of tours, got close. But then his career skyrocketed. I couldn't see him, he was always busy. Like, his every waking moment was booked. Soon enough, his third world tour was announced. And then, here we are. Does that suffice?
Definitely does. Seems like you're quite busy. You've also done very well for yourself. Success at such a young age is rare.
In this business, it's your youth that matters. They don't want old, wrinkly pop idols. I guess now I have my 5 seconds of fame. I should do my best to use them wisely.
Indeed, the spotlight can be troublesome. One slip up can get blown right out of the water. You can't screw up like others can. Gotta love the tabloids. And that Fukamudu fella too.
Always sticking his nose where he shouldn't.
Precisely. They'll get him into trouble. He doesn't look like he's ready for that.
Few rarely are. Even Clay's got into scandals. I'll do my best to avoid that stuff.
I can help you with that. I'm told I give good advice, especially from your old idol friends. I've also noticed something, another critique. Particularly since I started this video, I don't know if it's a problem going through the duration of the game. Like, every sentence seems to last one line. Like he's trying to fit it in the box, and so the conversation comes off as slightly fragmented. I don't know. Now, to be fair, the reason I'm being so critical on this game right now is because I actually played another sort of visual novel game off camera that was also furry related that came out this year. It was called Angels with Scaly Wings, and I didn't play it on here because I read a review on it and said, oh, it gets a little risque. And, you know, I was like, oh, okay, cool, sure. So I'll play it offline because I don't want, like, if it gets too risque, I don't want to play anything on YouTube and get content blocked or anything for anything weird and risque happening. And guess what? I played through the entire thing. It was very addicting, and the choices had a lot more agency. It was a lot more like streamlined. You felt like you were part of the thing more. And I'm kind of ashamed. I'm kind of disappointed in that reviewer because like it really didn't get that bad, like at all. Like there was some innuendo here and there, yeah, because it's sort of like a dating sim sort of a thing. But nothing that I haven't seen worse on YouTube. And even from game reviewers. I mean, Jim Sterling like waggles a dildo around his channel sometimes, and he hasn't gotten blocked or banned for that crap. So like, there's nothing even close to that bad in that video game, and it was well written, and I really liked it. And I'll probably, when I finish this one, I'll probably do a review, sort of comparing and contrasting the two. So yeah, that's a thing. But anyways, enough rambling. Back to what I was going on. I'm doing that a little bit. This game is hard to hold your attention, man. Still pictures and words.
I appreciate the offer, Akron. I think they'll hire someone to do that. Clay's had a person for almost everything. I hope that I still have some free time. I don't want to lose it all like he did. I'm sure you'll be fine. I'll be spending lots of time with you. I'll make sure there's never a dull moment. I appreciate it. The last guard was a stick in the mud. Not to mention a total coward as well. Failing your duty as a guard is terrible. It's one of the worst things you can do. You'll likely never be hired again, Daz. But I'm different. I won't fail you. I can't. There's too much on the lawn now. Click to save your game. Yes, I don't believe there's any agency or choices there. That was mostly just story. Continuing their prior conversation. I'll be back to Sam and the Ark. Remember, Max, if you win, you can undo all the damage. You're not exactly down for killing. You're just playing a part, fooling him. Take deep, concentrated breaths. Do not let the anxiety overtake you. None of this will be permanent. You can bring them back. Even her.
Her, huh? Is this her girlfriend? She's trying to bring back her girlfriend?
Tokyo, huh? Can't say I've ever been there. Aside from Africa, I stayed in America.
Oh, Africa, there's that word again. So it must be their Maxine and Archeron's previous engagement was in Africa, and it ended up badly. I'm guessing.
Another person of interest will arrive too. They are secondary to your objective.
You must ensure that they stay alive. But everyone else in the tour must die.
All of them? How many are there?
I will give you a list. However, you must wait before acting. The game doesn't start until the bell tolls.
And what exactly is this bell?
The death of Kleist, of course. Let me explain this in an easier manner. As I said, there's a special guest. I have to keep my eyes on them as well. So your test is happening close by. Other people are competing with you, Max. We need one large event to start this. Something that everyone will know of. I can think of nothing more fitting. The death of their figurehead star.
I see.
I will give you a specific date and time. It will be up for you to kill him then. After that, you have 24 hours.
Alright, that makes perfect sense.
Kill Kleist and then kill the others. I'll have 24 hours from that point. Yes, but you will have time to practice. And lots of times to set things up too. You can use your company as cover.
Practice murder?
Yes. I have the perfect opportunity. Hey, what's up? What's up, Mute? Welcome to the story. We're talking with this murdery Haile Ryo who's trying to set up a murder party. It's like a bad game of Clue. Anyways, the perfect opportunity. I'll give you a free reign of Tokyo's people. That's the wrong accent. See, now I messed up my accents. But this is under the one condition. The deaths must happen exactly at midnight.
That seems rather specific.
It benefits another venture of mine. I can't say much more than that, Max.
I understand.
This is an all or nothing game. If anyone is left alive, you lose. You must deliver death to all of them. Until you kill Kleist, you can practice. That and formulate your entire plan. You have a world tour to infiltrate. But with the power to stop time, I don't see that as much of an issue. I'm looking forward to your results. Just make sure that VIP stays alive. They are present, but not on the list. You can afford to be reckless, Max. I'm certain that you won't disappoint. Especially given the generous time frame. I hope that you stand in my place.
I'll do my best. So how about this list?
Of course. Take notes on your phone. You'll be using it a lot from now on. Save your game, yes. No decisions there either. Getting stoned and about to go to bed? Are you sure it's not 4:20? Yeah, it's 9 o'clock here too. Anyways, the week of the tour's arrival in Tokyo. Thanks for working with my schedule. I know that you are quite eager, Max. It's nice to finally meet you.
Yes, of course. This is important to me. I ensured that my schedule was wide open. I don't want any conflicts regarding time.
I'm glad it all worked out. I'm getting voices confused again.
So, may I ask what you wanted to say? I never had someone so set on a meeting. You must be very passionate about this. I guess you could use that word. Your employees called it stubborn. You must mean Rook. I assure you, he's harmless. You'll see if you run into him in person. He can be very rude in his emails, but honestly, that's what I need. He's succinct and on the ball. He weeds out those who would waste my time, and he doesn't damage our public image. I'd say it's a win-win scenario, Max. I could see how he'd scare some people away. You're lucky to have a man like him. Let's just hope he stays with the team. I've read about his work in the past. How he ran away from a maid cafe. I hope he's as reliable as you say. I'm surprised you were able to learn that. He's usually very secretive about his past. I've seen him take down entire websites. I have my ways. I'm sure. But let's be more open. You didn't come here to talk about Rook. What are you after, Ms. Armstrong? Don't say it like that, Singe. It makes me sound shallow. I want to protect your workforce. Our catalog grows even larger. I'm sure we can find something you would like. Can't put a price on your loved ones. See, this is what I'm talking about right here. Like, the fragment sentences. Like, she's making a pitch, and, like, that can all sort of be one sentence. It's like, you don't have to have it in 3 short sentences like that. Oh, God, it's gonna drive me nuts. I'm seeing it all over the place. Oh, so this is a sales pitch after all. I'm sorry, Max, I don't have time for this. I'm a very busy man with places to be. Well, let's not jump to conclusions. A sales pitch means you're able to decline. It implies you have a choice in the matter. Excuse me? I already have my men arming the building. They'll be finished in a couple of hours. What? Oh, don't worry about it, Singe. We're using largely non-lethal methods. You know, chemical dispersion and stuff. There'll only be a couple of explosives. Sorry, but I had to take the initiative. That's how you build an empire, Singe. Have your men back off immediately. Max, we are in a foreign country. We don't have permits or permission. Already taken care of, Singe. You seem to underestimate me. I want no part in this. I am uncomfortable housing weapons. I don't own this place. Please stop. I will not hesitate to call the police. I don't want to escalate this, Max. Back away from this peacefully. You're right. You don't own this place. Just a couple of weeks ago, I bought it. It's property of Armstrong Incorporated. As of this moment, you're a trespasser. In clear violation of the law, Singe. How would that look on your record? You're bribing me? No, I haven't gotten to that part yet. Singe, if you don't let us arm this place, I'll have you charged for trespassing. But I've paid for a lease. That's not how it works, Max. It's a legally binding contract. Any contract can be bought out. You just need the right amount of cash. It turns out, I have a limitless supply. Do you still wish to contest this? Yes, I do. I was hoping it wouldn't come to that. Max reaches in her pocket and takes out a photograph. Look at this. How did you get that? I kept it in my pocket at all times. You don't know what you're dealing with. Forces beyond your control are at play. You need to let me do this. And now. The person in this photograph, they mean the world to you. Yes. So, if the law won't make you cave, I'll have to make this a little more personal. You'll lose someone dear to you instead. I demand your full cooperation, Singe, or else I'll take things into my own hands. And in doing so, take your world away. She rips the photograph in half. No! Who are you? No one important. At least not yet. I already went through your phone. I got your number and a few others. Accept me to be in touch. It seems this tour may start with a bang. So it seems kind of weird to me that Singe would conflict with him. Now, obviously, she's got bad intentions. So, like, Singe playing it cool when, like, Archeron is clearly in the right, and he knows he's in the right, obviously. Meanwhile, back at the convention center. It's always one thing after another. I swear, I won't get a break until I die. Word choice, sir. The press conference was just the start. People have been begging for interviews. I guess I can try to find them time for them. I'll have to focus on the big outlets, the ones that can spread the word farther. No offense to the little guys, of course. Free advertising, improved public image. The world has to know we're okay. I'll have to make a start by making a... Hello, Rook. Eclair! What are you doing here? I came here to see the conference. You know, I had asked about place and stuff, so I wanted to see what was going on. Eclair shuffles awkwardly in place. Rook types on his tablet at a frantic pace. They both seem apprehensive. So for those of you who are just joining in, these two had a history fling and they had a breaking up, and yeah. It was definitely something, wasn't it? Singe hasn't been himself lately. Noticed a lot of change in his mindset. I have to talk some sense into him yet. You shouldn't be in here. All civilians are apparently escorted out. Just stating the facts. It's not that I'm unhappy to see you again, so... How is business back at the cafe? Better than ever. Things have been great. Not to say it's better without you. It's just, well... Things are alright. I'm glad to hear that. I hope you put my check to good use. Yes, of course. We were bankrupt. You sent it at a perfect time, Rook. I was just about to shut the doors for good. Your check saved the business. But it also showed that you still cared. I guess that's why I came here. You're still in my thoughts, too. What perfect timing. I heard you were going through some trouble. I didn't know it was that bad, Eclair. It's the least I could do. I mean, I put you through so much trouble. I just ran away, like a coward. It's okay, Rook. I know you had your reasons. Have you been able to move on? In a way. He stares at the screen on his tablet. I'm glad to hear. I had to see how you were holding up. I mean, since Clay's passed on, I didn't want you to react the same way. I was able to bounce back, but Singe, I'm not sure he could handle it. It's okay, Eclair, I'm fine. The death of Clace was very unfortunate.
but we were never really that close. Not as close as I was to him. This won't affect me the same way, Claire. I'll push through for Singe and Jade.
Yeah, for Jade. You've gotten quite close to her, right?
Yeah, we're definitely close. We spend almost every waking hour together. Singe always has stuff for us to do. It's a lot harder work than a maid cafe. That I can say for sure. But it feels rewarding when we finish. I have to push myself. I end up growing. Perhaps that's... Hey, whoa! A sentence that broached 2 lines! Woo! You did it! You broke the curse! Perhaps that's why I'm not taking this as hard as I was last time. I'm stronger. But you ruined it by surrounding it by even tighter fragments. Rook and Singe were a thing? I don't know. Like that quote-unquote him thing, yeah, that made me question that. Or was it Clace, or I don't know. Or, I don't know why he's putting it in air quotes like that.
Yeah, it seems that way. I wish you were just like this back at the cafe. It's so much fun to work with you, Rook. But this newfound strength, it's changed your personality too.
You could say that again. I don't think I'd be a good host anymore. I think about it sometimes and laugh. But people change. It's unavoidable. I think I've found my calling here.
I'm glad you're doing well for yourself. Actually, I'm glad we both are. Seeing those contest winners enter the cafe, it just shot me back to the past. Like I relived every moment of our career. And every moment after. In fact, I really embarrassed myself. It's not often that I cry out in the open.
I'm sorry. That wasn't my intention. I just wanted to show them a good time. You came to mind when I thought of that.
It's fine, trust me. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here. I'm thankful we got to meet again. But I'm thinking of myself. What now?
What do you mean?
I don't know what I expected to happen next. I didn't even picture getting this far.
Perhaps nothing needs to happen. I mean, you're doing well on your own. I am too. Maybe that's closure enough.
I suppose you're right, Rook. I know that you're holding up all right. It won't keep me up at night anymore. But what if I don't want this closure?
What do you mean?
Will you keep in touch with me? I'm not asking for you to come back to work, but I would love to become friends again. Feel free to say no if you like. I'm not trying to recreate what we had, because we're both different people, but...
Claire, calm down. The answer is yes. Yeah, I was talking about the run-on sentences. Or not the run-on sentences, but the fragments. Basically, like, the sentences that the characters are speaking are, like, basically 95% of them since I started this part of the game. And I don't know if it's been always happening and I just noticed it, but literally, like, the sentences are always, like, 1 line long. And they don't go on for any longer period of time than that. So it kind of makes all the characters kind of feel the same, which I think is why I'm having trouble with the voices. Because, like, it's not like Night in the Woods where... like, every character had a personality, and you can read that personality just through the dialogue. It's harder to get a read on personality archetypes, because, for one, these are still images, and number two, the sentence structure seems to be the same for each character, or similar style, as it were. So, save your game, yes. Oh, well, no, I guess. I guess not! But anyways, it doesn't matter, because there was no decisions there. It was another... sort of monologue thing. When I arrived at the office, they stare at me and tell me, "Oh, we finally got to the meeting." I quickly apologized for any tardiness I may have displayed. It's so tardy. I explained that Archeron held me in order to chat. This seems to be enough to sate their curiosity. No worries, we had no schedule. Besides, Keela kept me company. We had a lot of chat about. I hear from one of my friends, Marsa is a good game. I don't know. Never bothered to look it up. Moranatsu? I guess I'll have to look that one up. Because I haven't heard of Moranatsu as a game. Yeah, on this channel I've played Night in the Woods, One Dog Story. I think that was called One Dog Story. And this is the third game I've been playing, and I think I started streaming earlier this year. And next week I will be playing, obviously, Sonic Mania, because that comes out on Tuesday next week, and I'm not playing it until Friday because I want to stream it. I'm holding it off for you guys, so you better appreciate it. But anyways, back to the story. Yeah, Singe is really cool. He's smart and well-spoken. This is like the only characters I really have good voices for are this guy, and I think the Realio, the guy from the Ark, the Ark guy, and this guy. Like, he's smart and really well-spoken. I could learn a lot from him. You flatter me, Keela. But please, have a seat. There is much to discuss. I just instructed and sit beside Keela. I expected the atmosphere in the room to be happy, but for some reason I felt a sense of dread. Singe also looks like he's at his wit's end. At the press conference he seemed so calm and carefree, but that must have been an act for the public. I have to wonder, is that how he truly feels? I wanted to start by thanking you both. Your dedication has been unmatched. The contest was a massive success. To that end, I have a present for you. I wanted to give it to you much earlier. Just give me a moment to get them, alright? Singe reaches up to his desk for a few moments. He opens the drawers looking for something. A few moments pass and he lets out a sigh. Almost like he's afraid he lost them for a moment. I know you had to give away the cans. The ones that you won for your spot, I mean. To be honest, I found that silly. So I decided to have some replicas made. Something you could keep as a souvenir. They are exactly the same as you knew. Yes, I am a man of sentiment. The contest clearly means a lot to you. So I thought this would be a nice gift. He places 2 cans of Popstar on his desk. Me and Keela exchange glances with one another. Wow, Singe, that is really awesome. I was sad that I had to give mine away. But now, everything is A-okay. Keela grabs his can and places it in his pocket. This sure was interesting, I didn't expect it. The can on the desk reminds me of those simpler times. It was an exact replica of the one that got me here. But now it seems a little different, doesn't it? After all, was it really so prestigious? It seems that it won us a lot of pain and suffering. I hoped to myself that things would resolve happily. Still, so I don't seem rude, I accept the offering. I rested in my lap, noticing that it's full. I'm assuming that Singe wants me to stay that way. I had to guard over these cans with my life. I still don't want them stolen or leaked. Then there could be 2 more winners. This is a personal present for myself. Please treat them with love and care. With that said, we have to move on. A lot has happened since we arrived here, and especially since you 2 arrived. I'm sorry that it has come to this, but I no longer feel safe keeping you here. I have arranged for transportation. Tomorrow you will both be taken home. I'm afraid the contest is cancelled. Trust me, it's not what I want here. And I truly wish I had better news. But We have to move on from this. You two are exempt from my previous rule on having to stay inside the building. You're both free. But that's not all. You have to deal with people at the same time. Oh, people are terrible. Oh, people. People are horrible, man. I hope the people don't bother you too much. You'll be receiving compensation, of course. We had a lot of money aside from you two. Instead, we'll be giving it to you. You'll get a check before you leave for about $100,000. Damn! Money, man! Money! I wouldn't be complaining. It's like $100,000. Sure, give me $100,000. It better not be yen, sir. You better not be pulling anything. We're in Tokyo, after all. I hope these terms are acceptable. Your flight home will be tomorrow. I hope that we can be mature here. Will you agree to these terms? I will. I nod in acceptance. I can't really say no. You could refuse $100,000, but I don't know why you would. But still, one of these things, it's like, give me an agency of choice, even if it's an illusion of choice, right? It's like, even if you'd say no, and he's like, sorry, but I'm really, really worried about your safety, and then no, and then no, and then no, and then he's like, nope, you can't do it, and then it's like, yes, you know. Yeah, right, yeah, it's like, oh, yeah, the story says everyone has to die, yeah, like Maxine's probably on the blood trail here. I don't know if she's gonna let us go so easily. Well, she'll probably I don't know, I'm guessing that the person she can't kill is myself, and everyone else is the one that's on her hit list. But I knew that Ice was still needed in Terra. I'm still thinking about Terra at this point. It's been like 2 episodes, man. I haven't been back there in a while. So I'd have to play the rest of it by ear. This money isn't much when worlds are at stake. $100,000? I could like only buy like a house with that crap, man. The worlds are at stake. I'm gonna try and do a party thing with some old friends from grade school, middle school, and I have a bunch of calls to places and see if they can do stuff. Yeah, getting together a party is horrible. That's why I tend to party on my own. I'm a single party dude. With that said, I have one last gift. Singe reaches into her pocket and pulls out 2 cards. Interestingly, they appear to be credit cards. There's one for each of you. They have a few $1,000s on them. You better tell us an exact number. It's like, oh, here's some cards. It has a few $1,000s on it. Okay, how many $1,000? Because, you know, you can't just tell me it's like a few thousand, because it could be 7, it could be 3. I don't want to... It will help you until you cash the check. This is my own personal money, too. Another gift directly from me. There's a lot of anemones on site. I trust you will enjoy your final day. Your flight will be leaving by noon. Meet me in the lobby at 7 o'clock. Okay. Keeler grabs one of the cards and puts it in his pocket. I follow suit and do the same thing. This is eerie. It's almost like it wasn't happening. It's kind of surreal. The end of an era, it feels like. Everything we both wanted taken away from us. But I can't give up. There's still lots to solve. Just then, Singe's phone rings. He puts a finger up, holding us to wait a moment.
Yes, Singe speaking.
I see. Are you certain? I understand. Please call for help. Singe hangs up the phone. Rook's dead. He slumps down in his chair with a huge sigh.
What happened? Who was that?
Who is the Grim Reaper coming for Rook? Dun 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 dun.
I'm afraid I have some bad news. A corpse has been found on the premises. In the backstage area, to be precise.
Are you serious?
Singe places both hands over his face. He continues to speak, but it's muffled. It's unclear what emotion is worn underneath. Oh, it was Rocker. Oh. It was Rocker, our guitarist. Again, at a much earlier time. I guess the tour's canceled now. Is the tour canceled now? Can we cancel the tour now? Singe.
So, I guess that's all I needed to say. The list, these people, and Tantroo. Not to mention the power I've given you. Any questions before I send you back? Remember, this may be your only chance. I don't want you leaving with any regrets.
Whoa! 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 Wow! 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 What? 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 Okay, okay. You got some good twists. I'll give you that. Like, what? None. Throwing these two in the same conversation is going to be tough, because now it's like I got to go through the deep sort of British snobby accent and the Australian one and not mix them up, because they're both similar. None. It was all very clear. It might be hard to find a way in. The tour already has a guard, you know. Shouldn't be an issue. And after that, your opposition. Their goal is to kill. Yours is to protect. Again, it shouldn't be. See, I did it. I knew I'd do it. Bah. Again, it shouldn't be an issue. I've never failed any of my clients. I have no need to treat this differently. Well, there is some leeway here. You just need to leave one person alive. For your competition, it's all or nothing. It will be interesting to see who wins. Life and death fighting each other. The spot is as good as mine. I have no intention of ruining my record. I've never let a client down before. Very well. I have one final request, however, regarding the one called Tantroo. What is it? I'll be making up a big story. Something about parallel worlds. They'll think they have a power. If they tell you this, humor them. They mustn't know the truth of things. They are the key to my other venture. Very well. With that being said, are you really ready for the games to begin? The eternal struggle of life and death. But this time, we'll have a victor. Yes, I am. Good. And one final thing. When you meet your opposition, I think you'll come to understand. There's no motivation like sibling rivalry.
Max is his sister. Dun 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 dun.
Oh, now we're back. Okay, so it's taken like what? A few hours to get back to freaking this place, Terra. Belakwas kneels at an altar, surrounded by silence. In my time of need, I fear I am alone. But what does a man such as me pray for? Or whatever I am, Anubis? When I bear the burden of the world, and when its fate is upon us, He grips the scepter in his hands, trembling softly. A moment to the dead is my only hope. Perhaps that is proof enough of my failure. But I know that we can find salvation, for nothing is below such a right. Not as long as they have the power, or if they have the strength to use it. The fate of the universe is now a gamble. And here I am, filled with doubt. Yeah, I wouldn't have any experience on how to throw a party, dude. Like, I think I'm the only person who's been in this house for, like, I've been here for 2 years, and I think, like, the housewarming, like, the move-in, and, like, one visitation, I think, and that's about it. Like, other times I usually go to other people's houses to hang out. But yeah, so I wouldn't have much experience in that forte. When once I was so sure. However, now it is too late. They are coming with 1,000 furies. Fire and fury like you've never seen before. By the way, spoiler alert, that's what this weekend's episode is going to be for Rooview. Just spoiler alert for anyone who's here. Thousands of furies. Fire and fury like you've never seen before. And they will seek out our destruction. Taking a deep breath, he stands. But as they say about desperate times, he aims the sharp side of the scepter towards his body. Oh, he's gonna Harry-Carry? Oh, he Harry-Carried. Oh, he drives it through his chest. With a frightening scream, he loses balance. Grabbing onto a pew, he watches the floor become stained with his blood. He cries,
For Terra and the immortal king.
Chapter 6, Life and Death. They do look like siblings-ish. We sit in silence for too long. Singe rests his face in his hands in utter defeat. Keel and I exchange glances, unsure of what to do. Was Rocker truly dead? And aligning perfectly with those mysterious texts? Wait, I have to use my brain here. The message said a friend of mine would die today. I can't say that I'd consider Rocker a friend. We've had next to no contact since I've arrived. The only people I've had real contact with, Keela and Rook. But they're safe and sound. As I make contact with Keela, I shrug. Perhaps it would be best to leave Singe alone. And perhaps leave this place altogether. We shouldn't have to wait long until morning. Not with danger like this. We shouldn't have to wait until morning. Not with danger like this lurking about. Especially not since we have those credit cards.
Singe? Are you okay? I am conflicted. Rocker was a prodigy. This loss is profound. Not just for me and my endeavors, but for the music industry as a whole. Takes out his phone and starts texting. I must confer with Archeron. But I think we all know what this means. Huh? The killer is among us. This calls for a change of plans. A change? I need to work with Archeron. Together we can catch this killer. While on the other hand, your flight home has been bumped up. I'll make sure you get home later tonight. I'm sure you understand. Place was not an isolated incident. The worst has come to pass. We are under attack, and I cannot risk you two as casualties. Yeah, I understand. Talk about the worst case scenario. I wonder if the tour will ever happen. Wonder if this tour will even happen. So much has gone to waste. But what purpose? Why would someone want to do this? That's a good question, actually. And I did have a better grasp on things than he did.
If someone is misusing their powers from the Ark, why would that man give it to them in the first place? I assume that he had chosen his specimens carefully. At least that's the impression he gave to me. I don't think he'd chosen someone so reckless. In fact, I thought I was the only one chosen. And do I really want to leave? I feel like I have a part to play in this mystery. For now, it seems like this ends tonight. As that's all the time I have before being sent home. That's a tall order. Catch a murder and save Tara all in one night? I feel like I bit off more than I can chew. See you next Friday, Mute. Have a safe drive out there. So what do we do in the meantime? I would suggest sticking together, or at least be around those you trust. Shock and Rocker rarely parted ways. The killer must have been watching. They waited until Rocker was alone. Don't give them that chance. I'm afraid that's all the advice I have. Wait a minute. You're gonna make us stay here when there's a killer out and about? That's crazy! I thought you'd help us wait at the airport or something, Singe. But keeping us in harm's way? That's a very pessimistic way of looking at things, Keela. You should rethink this. This is basically a hostage situation, and we might as well have guns to our heads. And that's the one thing you never do when you and what's the one thing you never do when you have a gun pointed at you? Make sudden movements? Exactly. A rash action like that might provoke the assailant into taking rash actions of their own. We must remain here. I think it's best if we let them assume their plan is coming to fruition. See, now we're back to normal sentences. Woo! On a more regular basis. That way we can catch them off guard later on. I will discuss the best course of action with Acheron. If I'm not mistaken, this is far from the first brush with a killer. But as far as it stands, I think the best course of action is not to give off the impression that we fear the killer, that we're running. I guess that makes sense. I don't know. Truth be told, I don't know either, but Acheron will. If the plan changes, I'll let you know. You got Singe's contact. Alright. Singe leans back in his chair with a sigh. At first, I thought I was responsible for Clace's death. Then maybe allowing him to leave this place put him in danger. But now I know we've been targeted. Honestly, I think that Clace would have been attacked, no matter where he was. I don't know if that's scary or if it's reassuring, but now the burden of responsibility is once easily discarded. I feel as if my mind has become more clear. I will use a newfound resolve to find and restrain the killer, give him justice. And Acheron and myself will do it swiftly. Slams his fist down on the table. You're free to go. Please heed the advice I gave earlier. And I will be contacting you about your flight. I can understand where he's coming from. Guilt can be a devastating force. To be free from it is truly liberating, especially if it wasn't your fault. Tantroo, you can go. I need to have a few words with Singe. I'll run into you later, I'm sure. Keela reclines in his chair, clearly displaying that he's staying here. Very well. Be safe, Tantroo. I nod. This was a lot to process. Now, in character for a second, yeah, there's a killer walking about. I'm gonna walk out there by myself. Yes. I thought you just said to keep in pairs, dude. You're telling me this advice to stay in pairs, and you just go. We're gonna be here. You just go out there and deal with whatever you gotta do. Okay, sure, whatever. Makes a lot of sense. No, doesn't make a lot of sense. I guess we were expected to act like rats in a cage. Moving as mastermind is expected. Hopefully, none of this wants to rattle that cage. Like to save your game, yes. I do believe there was no choices here. I'm pretty sure there was no choices here. I take a deep breath as I close the door behind me. I press my back against it, resting for a moment. So Singe was relieved that he's not responsible? It's odd to be relieved in that kind of scenario, but I understand where he's coming from. We've all wallowed in self-pity before. At least he's free to use his energy in other ways. In this case, plotting with Archeron. Regardless of how I feel about Singe's current plan, I know that Archeron will keep us all safe. And talk some sense into him if he's off track. It wasn't my place to decide what they did, but it wasn't my place to defy Archeron's orders either. They just definitely hired the best in the business. Tantroo. Sivan Q approaches me. I saw the paramedics carry out a body bag. I was terrified, wondering who it could be. But I got a text from Singe right away. I was worried that it might be you. But in light of what happened, I think some changes need to be made. Singe does not have a good grasp on things. I expect some answers from him promptly, and I expect him to put me in charge. Rocker's death was a tragedy, one that could have easily been avoided. If only... Cutting off Archeron, Shock approaches with fervor. What did you just say? I was just saying. It's a tragedy what happened to Rocker. He was so young as well. Shock's hands turned into fists. He trembles, clearly fighting off tears. Tell me what happened. Archeron looks at me, unsure of how to respond. I shrug. Dealing with this was not my expertise. There was an incident, Shock. Like what happened to Clace. Actually, it was exactly the same. Rocker died in the same way? I guess Singe gave Archeron more info than us. But if this was true, then the person texting me, they killed Clace. But not only that, they were the Midnight Killer. Using the power of the Ark for nefarious purposes, then the culprit is really in this building? And with access to power from a place like that? I shudder. Utterly terrified at the implications. It's all connected more than I thought. I wouldn't be surprised if Terra was involved too. You mean... Unfortunately, yes. How could you let this happen? Me? Best in the business. Perfect track record. You're supposed to be here to save us. What were you doing instead? Do you even know where Rocker was? Well, judging by... I don't care about judging by. Your stupid deductions won't save anyone. 2 of my friends are already dead. Shock, please. Shut up. In a fit of anger, Shock throws a punch at Archeron. But Archeron doesn't move from his place. Finally, some action. Some character interaction that actually makes sense. Woo! He stands his ground, reaching a paw. He catches Shock's punch. What? Archeron squeezes Shock's fist. He trembles in pain, trying to break free, but Archeron's grip tightens. It looks like Shock's fingers might snap at any second. Hey, let go! It's clear that Shock is starting to panic. Perhaps he thought less of Archeron or more of himself. It's hypocritical of you to say that. Instead of releasing your grip, he tightens it further. Don't place the blame on this on me. We're dealing with a serial killer here. And if I'm supposed to protect you, you don't want to be on my bad side. He releases his grip. Shock flies back and lands on the floor. The moment of his attempts to escape used against him. He quickly pushes himself up and runs away. He covers his face as if in shame. After a few moments, Archeron turns back to me. Terribly sorry about the scene. I have little patience for men like him. Quick to anger, irrational, you know. I saw it in his eyes. He thinks I'm responsible for Rocker. There's no way he's thinking clearly. I know my job is to protect, but I can't be everywhere all at once. It's not fair for him to blame me. I'm afraid now I'm self-conscious. I must not let his thinking dissuade me. He rests his paw on his chin, in deep thought. I guess I no longer have a perfect record. Rocker was part of my job description. Not sure how I feel about this. That's usually what set me apart. It's a good thing to have on a it's not a good thing to have on a resume. In fact, I am sure that's why the god before me fled. They were ashamed. But I don't feel shame. Instead, I feel determined. In this instance, it's become clear. The guy before me was just a coward. I'm not going to run. I never would. I'll stay and stand my ground. I'll stop this killer with Singe, I promise. He stares at me with fire in his eyes. I nod at him and and smile, thanking him. His speech made me feel a little safer. Tantroo, would you do me the favor of waiting here? I'd like to talk to you further, but I must tend to things with Singe. Given the current situation, I cannot put them off that meeting any longer. No offense. None taken. Debating our safety was definitely more important. I think small talk would be fading away soon enough, especially if this was my last night here. I can only hope that their discussion is fruitful. I waved him off and decided to wait around this area. I don't think I'd be waiting long. Archeron was definitely quick and to the point. Thank you very much. I'll see you shortly. With a smile, he walks off. As soon as he opens the office door, Keela comes out. Without so much a word, he storms downstairs. Archeron looks at me and shrugs. I do the same. I'm not sure what's gotten into him lately. He's been acting the same ever since this morning, since we got back from Terra. Archeron pushes this aside and enters the office. I decide it's best to stick to the plan and wait here. Keela is more than capable of taking care of himself. I sprawl on the chair and close my eyes, wondering what would happen next. Dun dun dun. Rook's dead. Keela wanders into the convention center by himself, seemingly against the previous instructions of Singe. He scans the room in a curious manner, as if he's looking for something, unsure of what it is. I really hope I'm not late. Singe sure likes the sound of his own voice. He nervously presses his back to a wall. To pass the time, he uses his phone for a moment. But out of the corner of his eye, he notices something. A figure slowly approaches him. This is confirmation enough that he's not too late. He lets out a sigh of relief as his worry washes away.
Hello, Keela. I'm glad you can make it. Me too, actually. I didn't think Singe would ever shut up. He's really determined to catch this killer. Yeah, I could tell. Good thing my weapons are here. I doubt Archeron would stop them himself. He's too infatuated with Daz. Really? I didn't figure him the type. He seemed all business and no pleasure. It's hard to get a read on him sometimes. By the way, let's not waste time. I'm glad you agreed to this meeting. Well, of course. I never leave someone like you hanging. It's not every day that a billionaire... Just call me Max, Keela. My money does not define me. Oh, of course. I didn't mean to offend you, Max. It's okay, Keela. You didn't know, but I'm here as Max, not as the CEO of Armstrong Incorporated. Fair enough. Well, I'm here as Keela. Still, we're on even playing ground. What did you want to talk to me about? About everything that's going on right now. Sorry for just assuming a moment ago, but are you thankful for the weapons here? I'm not sure. I know Archeron isn't, but he's also not doing his job. I mean, if he was, Rocker would be alive, right? Glad you see it my way. But your weapons didn't help either, so I can't say for sure. Sorry, Max. Wow. What a sharp wit you have. If that wasn't funny, I'd be offended. Singe is the one responsible for that. He has the key to detonate the weapons. I do too, but it's not my job. He bought them, so he should use them. Instead, he's too busy drowning himself in sorrow. What a drama queen he is. Well, Rocker's death changed that. He realized Clace's death wasn't his fault. So he feels a little better now. Is that so? Yeah. So maybe his judgment will be more clear. There's still no excuse for Rocker, though. I'll say. I guess my weapons haven't exactly gotten the chance to prove themselves yet. I hope you give them the proper chance. I guess. I'm not gonna be here for much longer anyways. I'm flying home later. But Singe wants us to keep it a secret.
Here's the facepalm. 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 Good job, Keela. You're great.
Oh yeah, I was supposed to keep this a secret. Hey, my social security number is 9999999, and here's my credit account. Here's my credit card account. Here's a credit card he just gave me. It has like a few $1,000s on it, and here's the CVC number. It's on the back, and yeah, knock yourself out, lady. I know you have a lot of money, but you know, it's on me.
Oh my god. Anyway, he says if the killer knows what we're plotting, they might take rash action. Indeed, they might, Keela.
Oh really?
Max smirks softly.
Thank you for sharing that with me. Wouldn't want you to get caught in the fray. Yeah, exactly. So whatever happens here, I'm out. I didn't want to come here to begin with. Wow, can't believe you said that.
You must trust me if you let that slip up.
Well, I don't see why I can't. I hate Tokyo. It's so stupid. Everyone's staring at me like I'm weird. I know. I dug into your history a little bit. Really? Why? You're just so interesting, Keela. Did you tell anyone else? I mean, the real reason you're here? No. That's probably for the best. It'd be a shame if everyone here found out you were lying to them this whole time. Hey, you keep that to yourself, Max. Perhaps I will. Or perhaps I won't. I'd be more inclined to keep it to myself if you would do me a small favor, Keela. Fine. Checkmate, I guess. Oh, not quite yet. But I'm afraid I have to go for now. My favor involves another meeting. About 7 o'clock tonight. Are you down for that? Sure, where at?
Max points down a hallway connected to the lobby. 2nd floor, on the right. There's a small meeting room there. It'll give us much more privacy. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have another meeting to attend to. She appears just as fast as she arrived. I had to open my big mouth, get myself into trouble. No choices there either. True flag endings 3. Dusk. I've been thinking, how did I survive my self-inflicted stab wound? You mentioned a visit to the people, that this may help my public relations. Of course, Falquez. Your public image is very important, especially if you wish to dispel rumors. Yes. But I've thought of something else. This is not an intention. For the love of God, don't trust that. Well, she is a female dog. I mean, I'm just saying, she is a female candid, so it's not really offensive slang in that term, calling her the B word. Oh? And what is it, my king? A visit to the people might be wrong. If I parade over them with my lavish outfit, rife in luxury, they would feel hurt. This would be a pompous display of ownership, in a way I don't intend. Would you like me to prepare a new outfit? I could allocate funds from the treasury. Something more rustic, perhaps? Maybe not fully intact, with holes? That seems to be all the rage. No, Dusk. I must not disguise myself. Hiding who I am gives off a bad image. Then I'm afraid I don't follow. What else could you be planning, my king? It may be risky, but I want to open the doors of my castle. I want the people to come to me. They will be allowed to walk these halls as if it were their own home. This will give off the image I intend, that Terra truly belongs to its people, and that I don't hold back from them. Really? I would advise against that. We might be subject to massive theft. Not to mention your enemies may use this opening to plan an attack. Trust me, I've considered all the avenues. Let me describe my plan in more detail. Of course, my lord. I did not mean to be crass. When everyone has arrived, I will have gathered them in the atrium. At this point, I will address them all at once. I will be fully forthcoming. This is where they will learn what I have planned for myself and the future of Terra. At that point, we'll open our grand hall. We will have a feast for the ages. A ball that will be etched in time, and I will close by ending my reign. You can't be serious, Velquez. It must be done, Dusk. If my enemies still wish to attack me after hearing everything I have to say, then I will accept my appointed fate. For the repercussions of my death will be negligible compared to what comes next. And this twisted monarchy will end, succeeded by what the people decide. However, if my plan comes to fruition, I will leave them a beautiful world, in much better shape than it is right now. The mumblings of this new Terra, perhaps they are not us off as they think. We can only hope that. Velquez groans in pain, grasping at his chest. My lord, are you okay? He removed his hands from his chest, stained in blood. Yes, I'm fine. Sir, you're bleeding! Please, do not be alarmed. An old wound must have reopened. I am capable of tending to it myself. You are dismissed. Yes, of course. Please call on me if you need my aid. If it gets worse, we must take action. Moments later, Velquez leans against a wall. He grips the scepter in his hand, panting heavily. Has it stopped working? Okay. I think that's it for tonight. Did a good few hours there. I think we only moved one save file. So there was like there was one bunch of choices and then one new save file, and then the rest of the time was mostly story. So, yeah. Interesting. But anyways, yeah, as I said, next week we will be taking a break from this, and we'll get into something a little more action-oriented. as in Sonic Mania is coming out on Tuesday, and I'm refraining from playing it until Friday for you folks. Well, I do. As far as like the story goes, I do like the ending was good. Like the end part was good. There's some parts that drag in this, and you can tell when it drags because he repeats himself like 2 or 3 times, and it's like, yeah, I get it. Yes, the moment's somber, and yes, I understand the environment of the room. You know, show don't tell. And then like when they get into it, they get into it like that last bit with the conversations between Max and Keela and all that, and you know the sibling thing and some of the things. Like some of it's good, some of it's really good, but it does have its downtimes. 8.5 hours. Yeah, 8.5. Yep, total. Yep, 8.5 total hours of this. Actually, we're halfway through. I know this because there's achievements for Chapter 10. So Chapter 10 is like, I think, the last chapter. So we're more than halfway through. So it's probably about a 16-hour. So yeah, about halfway there. So basically, I guess we can call the next episode and series of episodes however long. Sonic games usually don't take that long. We'll call it an intermission, as it were. So yeah, we're taking an intermission, as it were, a Sonic intermission, to get our energy pumped back up so that we can trudge through the rest of the story. But yeah, thank you very much for watching and coming out tonight. If you were not here, I stream every night, Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next time, depending on the weather, if it's cool enough, I may actually just freaking do it in suit and do live camera stuff as well. Because I'm confident enough in my Sonic abilities to just do it go full hog with it. Just go for it instead of like putting the picture down there. The reason I do the picture down here for games such as this, for games that I know are going to have a lot of text, I don't fursuit, and I would never fursuit because it affects my ability to read, and that would suck. That's why I didn't do it for Night in the Woods. That's why I didn't do it for... I didn't know what I was getting into for One Dog Story. There was some reading involved, so I'm glad I didn't. Sonic games typically don't involve much reading. There's usually animation and stuff like that. I doubt there's going to be much text to read. And if there is, it's probably going to be in big bubbly language. So I should be able to fursuit, no problem. But anyways, I'm going to get the hop out of here for tonight. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good one.